You will never amount to anything.
We shall see, brother.
This is Zen from Zen World, and I hope you're having a great day. And we are doing a review and rundown on DCeased, Hope at World's End. And let me just say, this book is amazing. Tom Taylor, I can't tell you how amazing your writing is. Now, from DCeased, we have Hope at World's End. And Hope at World's End is part of the DC mythos, and this is kind of like the in-between what's happening with other characters. And this takes us through the perspective of Jimmy Olsen. Now, Jimmy Olsen, he's a war photographer, and he thought, I would never be a war photographer, but he ends up doing it, and he's really good at it. Perry, who's his boss, basically he's telling him, like, I can't believe that basically you were a paper pusher this whole entire time, because your potential is like boom. Because they're looking at a picture, they're doing a recap on a picture of Superman just like knocking the jaw out of Darkseid. And during the midst of this, we start to see the transformation that happens within Perry. And beyond that, we also see other members that are in the Daily Planet who work there, who are looking at their phones, right? They're swiping, they're looking at videos and things of that nature, and they start to, their mouth starts to go crazy. They start to change into these anti-life equation based monsters, which later on we get the name of them, which is the Blighted Ones, right? So they become the Blighted Ones, and Jimmy is the one who, he's not the only one, but I'm assuming that in this panel, in these couple of panels, Jimmy finds out that the virus goes through a technological transference, right? Active technology, right? Ones that can store information. Now, if you look at, now he does look at his pictures. Now, his pictures don't have incoming data, right? Or like internet connection or that transferring like that. It's actually just taking a still picture of what was and then recreating it, right? So it's not like if he looks at if he looks back at pictures, he's going to turn into the anti-life equation based zombies or the Blighted Ones. If anything, he's just going to be fine. So what he tells his friend is, don't put your phones away, things of that nature, which makes sense because most people have changed in that type of way. And in a culture where, especially in real life, where we're always looking at our phones, it makes sense that pretty much most of the world has transformed into the Blighted Ones, right? So with that being said, Superman pops in, right? And Superman is basically like, Jimmy, how come you didn't call me when all this was happening? And Jimmy's basically saying, but this is happening to pretty much everyone. So it's like, you come help me, bud. I mean, like, everyone is turning into these different things, right? And then we get a really cool scene, amazing scene with Jimmy, Superman, and the rest of the folks on the Daily Planet there, because basically Superman is about to go to war, right? It's not really war, but he's gonna do the best he can, and you kind of get this emotional insight from Superman that, like, he's hurting that he can't, like, even though, yes, he's the Man of Steel, he has super speed and he has invulnerability, right, and things of that nature, but he can't be everywhere at the same time as much as he would love to be, right? And then he kind of is saying bye to everyone, including Lois, and you kind of don't know if this is the last time, right? And of course, we know the story because we read DCeased, right? But it's still very heavy in the sense that it's like, damn, like, things are like very grim right now, right? And this is why I say Tom Taylor is amazing, because usually the good guys always come triumphant, right? But in this couple of panels, it seems like it's a suicide mission, right? It seems like Superman is basically saying, like, let's go do this, right? But he doesn't know the outcome of it, right? So upon saying bye to Lois and the rest of them, he teams up with Wonder Woman, who's, all the Justice League members are just standing there. They just look like they're ready, right? Wonder Woman is just standing there. She's like floating in the air, of course, but like her stance just looks like one of someone who's ready to do what needs to be done, and that's it, right? And spoiler alert, both Superman and Wonder Woman are eventually transformed into the blighted ones, right? With the anti-life equation virus, right? But it's still surprising, even if we have read that before, to see like all of these turn of events from the perspective of Jimmy Olsen. Now, as we come to the conclusion, we do get somewhat of what seems to be a time skip, right? Not a time skip, but we do see Jimmy, who's been through some things, and he's hurt, right? His left eye is it his left or his right? His left eye, I believe, he has an eye patch on it, and he's still doing what needs to be done. He's still taking pictures because he wants to have the memory of the heroes who fought so hard for us, right? Not just the bad times, but also the good times, the times when they're laughing and smiling, and also the times when they're doing what needs to be done against the villains who want to hurt us, right? So as we come to the conclusion of the book, it does let us know that there is going to be a continuation when it comes to hope at world's ends, right? Just more perspective, right? Or something of the nature. I'm not going to say it's going to be a direct, but there's going to be mini stories within the DC DCeased mythos, right? And again, if I was to rate all of Tom Taylor's DCeased books, I'm going to give them all a 10 out of 10 so far. There hasn't been one that hasn't left me immersed or wanting to talk about it on video or just to feel so hyped for the next book, right? I'm definitely going to get all of those books at some point on CGC and 9.8. Like, I'm going to collect them because the writing is amazing, and I'll always remember it as an amazing story. Now, Tom Taylor also did Injustice as well, right? And this is just like it's amped up, right, on a different level where, number one, character storylines that you think would go in a certain direction don't go in a certain direction. Heroes who you think are going to win don't actually win. Characters who you never cared about, you end up caring about, right? For example, Mirror Master, I know he's a Flash villain, but he was no one who was ever significant to me until I read DCeased, and his power set in combination with having the anti-life equation virus was just like, whoa, this is a villain right here, right? Him going into mirrors, him popping people out, and even him prior to having the anti-life equation virus when he was basically saving the villains, right? And and even some of the heroes, depending on, there's no heroes and villains when it comes to this storyline, but basically him like helping people go through into the mirror dimension and popping out another way to escape. It's just amazing, right? And then characters like Mary Marvel, like I don't care about Mary Marvel, but that's changed when I read Unkillables. When I read the last Unkillables book, right? And Mary Marvel came to save those kids and the rest of the heroes / villains from that bus to go against Wonder Woman. I was like, Mary Marvel, let's go, right? It was amazing. So again, Tom Taylor, shout out to you, giving this book a 10 out of 10. Now, I bought it on Comixology, because of the whole, but of course when the time comes, the time comes, what am I talking about? I already ordered it, so I'm waiting for it to come, and I can't wait till the sequel of DCeased to come out, because a lot of the people left the planet and they became a little bit older, aka Robin and Superboy, and they're gonna come back as the Superman and Batman, right? So it's excited. And then I did see on that cover, right, that we're gonna see Constantine and the Thing. I said the Thing, Swamp Thing, as a part of the whole thing. I'm just so hyped, guys. I can't even. But let me know what you think about this video overall before I keep on getting hyped, before I get the anti-life equation, virus and things of that nature. But this is Zen from Zen World saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying my content, drop me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go out and support the creators, Tom Taylor for DCeased and the whole entire DCeased mythos itself. Take care, everyone. Peace.